The Iraq War affected many families. Children went to war at a very young age. Some were volunteers, others were conscripted. Every parent worried that their child would die in the war. My occupation was a pilot. For over 40 years, I flew in the sky. Because I was a pilot, I had a special opportunity to get my son Mani out of the country. This is a beautiful story. Mani and I went to London. I took him to apply for a visa to go to America, but it was rejected twice. When we arrived at the embassy that day, I met one of my old friends who was a very influential man. He asked me why I was there, so I told him this story. He said to me, "I will solve this problem for you." The next morning, it was a miracle. We got the visa and passport back at 10 a.m. 2 hours later, we went to British Airways, and I put money on the plane and sent him away from the war to America in the hands of God.
I remember shaking my father's hand at Heathrow Airport and looking at him face to face saying, "Dad, I promise you, I will succeed. Your sacrifices will never be forgotten." My dad looked at me and said, "Son, I trust you." And that was the start of my journey. I made it to the States, went to University of Florida, got my chemical engineering degree, and I was off to the races. Got my first job in Texas in a company called Chevron. And after 2.5 years of working as an engineer, I realized I'm not the best of engineers. I'm much more suited for sales. And looking for a sales opportunity opened the door for a company called Haldor Topsoe. Topsoe was involved in the business of catalysis. That's how I got involved in knowing and learning about the catalyst world. After working there for about 3 years, I realized I'm limited, I'm capped. I really can't grow here as much as I want to. So I went to work for a much smaller company called Parkins International. High risk, high reward, and that's how I got introduced to the world of recycling. Transitioning to Parkins was very difficult. I was used to making multi-million-dollar deals. I was working for a very large company, plush offices in a good part of town. Now I was working in a warehouse district in Houston, grungy little offices, and dealing with people that were working with recycling, just small contracts. And it was hard. And even harder than that was promises were made, but promises were not kept. I had a choice, so I had to leave or stay. And I chose to stay in the company. And you know what? 2 great things happened there. I learned about the recycling business, and over the years, it's been wonderful and very profitable. And most importantly, the ideas of Unicat were born in my Parkins days. Leaving Parkins International was very difficult. I had a high-paying job, and I had just started my family. But I had to leave. I had to pursue the Unicat dream. My first offices were in my old house in League City, Texas. I remember making my first sales call and getting a sales order out of it. And I was excited. I thought this is going to be easy. But I had no idea about the adversity and the difficulties that laid ahead. After a while, I remember taking a shower at that house and just crying before God because I was so overwhelmed with the negativity and adversity. And I heard God say, "Thank you." And I said, "God, why are you thanking me?" He said, "Because you trusted me. And because you trusted me, we're going to impact the catalyst world." And you know what? I can attest to you, over the last 17 years, we have done just that. Well, we soon outgrew that home office and we had to have a more formal setting, so we went to First National Bank of Alvin and we opened our offices there. Those first 2 years in that office was the best of times, and I would consider them the worst of times. The best of times because I was finally free to pursue my dream, my destiny, what I was designed to do. I could be creative and do the things that I always dreamt to do. But the worst of times because it was full of rejection, full of adversity. So many companies saying to us, no after no, don't come back. This idea is crazy. Companies telling us this is not going to work. This concept of Unicat was not feasible. And this went on for month after month after month. We had a decision to make. Were we going to quit? We decided 2 things during that time. First, we were never going to let other people's rejection of our concept define our success. And second, we were going to be consistent in our sales effort and our marketing effort week after week after week. And you know what? It did finally pay off. After 2 years, we had a radical and very quick turnaround. And by the end of our second year, the company was profitable. We had made a major turnaround in sales, and we have never, ever looked back. In fact, for the last 14 years since then, the company has had one successful and profitable year after another. It's been exciting to see the company grow ever since those early days. And after 7 years, by 2009, we were ready to move on. Company had outgrown those bank buildings, and we had to stake our new ground, build our own building to reflect the ever-growing nature of our company, Unicat Catalyst Technologies. Unicat has reached levels of success that I would have never envisioned for it in my wildest dreams. From those early days that we barely made one sale to having sold more than $500 million of catalyst, from just working alongside with my partner day and night by myself, to having more than 30 people working alongside with me to fulfill what we call the Unicat dream. From having just one product in our portfolio to having now more than 100 products that we can offer the industry. From having companies reject us over and over again, telling us this concept will not work, that they will refuse to use our products, to having those same said companies using our catalyst products alongside with our technology in their refineries and chemical plants around the globe. Companies such as Exxon, Chevron, Shell, and BP, and many more like them. It has been an amazing journey. God has used the principles that I have learned in the last 17 years, developing Unicat as a catalyst to my success. I truly believe that the information in this book can be used to become the catalyst to your success.